Welcome back to the GTM Podcast. This week I have Brian, Matt, and Connor. Matt and Connor are currently away, whereas Brian is playing. What is this game called, Brian?
Arborea.
Arborea. It's like a Dark Souls clone or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, the gameplay you'll be seeing is Brian playing Arborea, which is a new game. Did it recently come out?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this weekend was the Halo Infinite playtest. There was a handful of playtests earlier. I had the option to play the playtest a while ago, but they sent the code to my Xbox, which I do not have anymore because I play primarily on PC. So I finally got a code for the PC release, and I was able to play it. Couple of things to go over with the Halo Infinite playtest, the way that I felt about it, and some things I feel like could be worked on. The gameplay is pretty stellar. It's fun and fast. Adding in the grapple shot really allows for the next step of maneuverability with your character, allowing you to do some interesting kills for I don't know. It's just more fun with a grapple shot. Guns are a little bit redesigned with new sound effects to them. Personally, I like the new style of the weapons that they went with. A lot of them are harking back to what they were in the original Halo games, like the battle rifle is no longer this fucked up looking gun. It's more traditional to Halo 2 and 3, which is nice. It's always welcome to me. I always liked the original style of the Halo battle rifle. Practice mode is very, very fun and very useful, especially for a multiplayer shooter game like Halo, where it allows you to go through selected maps from the multiplayer experience and play with AI, so you can get a better understanding of whatever weapon you want and whatever good vantage points you can have on a map. It's all there, allowing you to have a offline experience with AI that doesn't hinder your KD or whatever. It just allows you to get a better experience and better understanding of how to play the game better. You could set the AI difficulty from easy to hard, essentially, allowing you to get that feel, depending on if you want to get a more hardcore experience, like in the multiplayer, or a very easy experience to just learn some of the basics. The season that we got to preview, it was labeled as Season 0, was it's just I'm fairly certain all it is really just a, hey, this is what a season is going to look like, play around with it, see how you like it, and we'll tweak it. There are some things I'd like to tweak. The season is primarily, from what I can tell, going to be your ranking system for moving forward. I'm sure that your rank will stay the same, but what is changing is you level up by doing uh, these objectives, and these objectives provide XP to level you up through the season. And they're doing it based off like a COD style of season, where if you don't have the season pass or you don't have the season purchased, you will go through and unlock things that are labeled as free in the season, and if you don't, then you'll be if you don't have the free version and you actually bought the season, you'll unlock everything as you rank up through the season, which is cool. I like that, but I feel like what they need to change is the way that armor progression is going. You don't unlock armor, at least from what I've seen. Now, this could change. I'm sure that there's probably video proof out there of something different, but from what I've seen, you don't unlock armor by simply ranking up or anything like that. It's all based off the season. There are armors you can get for free in the season, but they're fairly down the line. Armor has definitely gone through a change. It is not all shiny and brand new and has these popping colors and all these different weird texture styles to them. It's all very basic, and I like that it's gone back to its roots because it looks a lot more resemblant of Halo Reach, where the armor is degraded and scratched up and broken a little bit. It's really it's just a welcome change from the formula we've had since 4 and 5, that we're going back to this original style of armor. The you can finally customize your character back to the way it used to be, where you customize the helmet, the visor, the left or right shoulder, the handguard piece, your wrist tech piece, I guess, your chest piece, and your kneecaps. Those are the only things you can customize on your character, at least from this point. Um, there obviously wasn't a lot of armors to show off in the technical preview, but they did allow us to fool around with customizing armor just so that we get a feel for what it's going to be like. Personally, I think it's fine. It's perfect. The route that they're going with it is very cool, and I hope that they continue down the path with these more uh, interesting looking armor styles. The only thing that I really did have a problem with was the color selection system, whereas in other Halo titles, you were allowed to choose a color based off of your uh, a pre-selected bunch of colors, and you could just select two primary and a secondary color. Whereas now in Halo Infinite, you don't get to select a primary or secondary color. You have to choose from a color selection, which is you get like a palette, and that palette will change your color on the Spartan. And those are also unlockable through the season. And with the season rewards, you can get really cool looking colors. But personally, I like the idea of having the I can change any color of the armor that I want instead of having it be like, oh, here's a palette that you can have. The amputee section of the game is allowing the player, like in Halo Reach, to customize the left or right arm or leg of your character to have as a robotic piece, which is nice. I personally like that change. I feel like it's a lot more inclusive to players who maybe have lost an arm or do not have legs. It's a nice thing way of including them and allowing them to express themselves through their Spartan in a Halo game. I feel like it's cool, and it has no hindrance on the game. It doesn't add any sort of special ability to have them, but it's nice to allow them to have the option. The sound design. The sounds are a lot more punchier. Uh, the assault rifle, for example, sounds like a mixture of all the other Halo sound effects, just a little bit more fine tuned for this experience. The maps are the thing is, Halo maps are never really gonna change very much. They always have the same sort of layout, and they're always laid out in this specific way. So when you come down to playing on these individual maps, sure, you can have favorites, and really the only thing I look for in a map is what does its environment look like what is the environment type. It doesn't matter what map you play on, you're always going to have somewhat of the same experience, but there are going to be maps that have good vantage points, and there's going to be maps that just are open battlefields where you can just wreak havoc, which is fine by me. um some downsides that I had, the shotgun feels a little weaker. Personally, I liked the older shotguns where it was, you got up next to somebody and you shot them once, they're fucking dead. There is no beating around the bush with a shotgun. That was, if I may be wrong, but Connor may be able to help me out with that. Connor, um, in the original Halo games, was it a one shot kill with shotguns?
I don't.
Um,
Oh, he's back.
um, you talking about like 1 through 3?
Yeah.
If you were like point blank, then yeah,
Okay. So
for
yeah,
sure.
that's what I don't like is you could be point blank on somebody in Halo Infinite with a shotgun, and it's a two shot kill. And I personally I don't really like that because that gives the enemy plenty of time to just melee strike you and kill you, especially with the glitch, which I'm sure is gonna get
I think the
patched.
shotgun it has more range though.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Um,
the thing is, like when you sacrifice its damage up close for that, obviously the range isn't going to be as good. I mean, like you could shoot somebody obviously from far away, but it's not going to have that much effect on them.
um, sure, it's not like an AR, but I think from what I've seen, it's like if you're within that like radar range, like you can kill them with 2 3 shots.
Right.
So I think it's just a matter of it's not the shotgun we're used to. You can't just walk up on somebody because like the old shotgun, like if you walked around the corner and you like got somebody like right around the right time, like they were screwed. Like you got them.
Yeah.
The only
I
thing is you
mean,
had to make sure you had to make your shot count because if you missed, then it's kind of a big
you kind of fucked yourself.
yeah, it's a big
See, because like,
big
especially in this one, like if it's not a one shot kill, but like the first shot will bring down their shields and the second shot will kill them. I still don't like that, but I guess it's like it's okay. But like you said, I mean, if you miss that first shot, there is no fighting back. You're going to get meleeed to death.
um I mean, like I said, if you let them get close enough. But I
Right.
don't. From what I've seen, the shotgun is not like you shouldn't be using it at point blank, really. And if you are, then you should melee then blast.
Yeah.
Um, but then again, I mean, you got to think like this is like everything. The shotgun, its damage, its range, all of that is
Prone to change.
still to be determined. I mean, and another thing too is a lot of people expressed concern that the old shotgun wasn't coming back, and they said that they wouldn't be opposed to bringing it back. And this game is going to be supposedly the next Halo game for like 10 years.
Yeah. And
Um,
we were actually talking. Me and Yanni were talking about this earlier, but there was a list recently that was posted online by not posted online by Nvidia, but somebody found this list from one of like Nvidia's fucking things. I can't remember what it was, but it was like all these games that haven't been announced but were put up for like these people have asked for like Nvidia DLSS or RTX something for PC, and all these titles came up that either have been announced or haven't been announced, and Halo 5 was on that list. And Yanni was like, "Oh, is it coming to PC?" And it's not coming to PC. I just don't see it happening, especially since they said quite recently that it's not coming to PC.
I don't blame them.
I personally don't see the point in bringing it to PC, especially with Halo Infinite right around the corner.
Nobody likes it. You know,
Yeah, I
a lot
mean,
of wasted time and money.
I
Nobody.
could see
I don't.
them. I could see them adding it like if Halo Infinite wasn't coming out for like 2 years, but even still, it's
The only
the
reason they would have to add it is to give online PC players the multiplayer.
right,
But with Infinite right around the corner, it's like everybody's going to shift to Infinite anyways because it's going to
right.
be better.
And something else that I don't like is before Halo Infinite, it's like real big blow up. When they announced it, yeah, it was like holy shit, the next Halo. But people had asked, hey, is there going to be a battle royale? And the developer had said the only BR we care about is battle rifle. So I was like, oh, thank God they're not doing a fucking battle royale. I'm so tired of this fucking overdone genre. And now there's people in talks about saying, oh, I've heard some talks that they're making a 300 player battle royale.
It could happen.
I don't fucking want it. I'm so tired. Like once a game is released and then they release a battle royale in that game, it seems like most of the player base shifts over to this shitty fucking game mode that is overdone.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what happened to Modern Warfare. I liked Modern Warfare. I played the shit out of it. And then they unveiled Battle Royale from Modern Warfare, and over like half or a good 3/4 of the fucking player base went over to Battle Royale. And I hate it. I hate Battle Royale. It's sure I'm not good at it, but fuck, it's just not fun for me at least. And I think it's just overdone and we need to move away from it. But I have high hopes for Infinite. I feel like from what I've played, it was fun enough to warrant some time put into it.
Right.
And with it being a free to play game, I don't see any problem with spending some time in it. You know.
Yep. Shit game.
And Yanni's welcome back to the podcast.
I got
So
some noodles.
you got some what?
Noodles.
Oh.
Bulldog. Fermented black bean.
So we were talking about Infinite and what we
Oh, okay.
from what I've played and what our hopes are for it. Like, what are we looking forward to? So, Connor, you being a fan of Halo for a long time, is there anything you're looking forward to in Halo the most?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think what I'm looking forward to most, above all else, with Infinite, is just getting back into Master Chief's helmet. Because I'm being honest with you, I'm not really. I mean, the multiplayer looks fun, and I'll probably play it here and there, but I'm not really a multiplayer type of person all that much. Like I don't really play MCC that much anymore. Um, I want to see what they do with Chief and stuff. That's what I'm going to be playing. That's what I'm most excited for. Um, I'm sure the multiplayer will be fun, and I'll definitely play it and give it a try. Um, but I'm Halo for me has always been the story. It's always been, that's what I grew up on as a kid. I didn't have online, so I even up through Reach, I didn't play any. I didn't really play Halo online until MCC came out. So for me, like Halo's always been that single player, sometimes co-op experience. And I guess I'm more focused on that than anything else.
So you're focused primarily on the evolution of the story.
I just want to see where they take it.
Yeah.
Halo 4, although it wasn't the best Halo game, it had a really good story.
Right.
Or had really good character development. And then they kind of threw it away with Halo 5, I feel like. So I kind of want to see where, I want to see, like, I just want to see what everybody's up to, Like, I want to see Arbiter. I want to see.
Yeah, here, keep the story going real quick, okay?
I just want to see what all the characters are up to.
The just two more points I wanted to say about Infinite before I end this episode. DMR is gone.
Yay.
Personally, I liked the DMR. I thought, might get rid of it, but I guess they replaced it with that other gun.
The Commando.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I like the battle rifle. I feel like the battle rifle and the DMR were a bit redundant.
Yep, I agree.
I prefer the DMR, but I think the battle rifle is better in that it's not so much of a punch.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was high tension, the DMRs.
What was another downside? From what I played,
I just fucked that up.
There was only one thing I had down as a downside, but I need to change it because I learned that it was wrong. When I was playing, I did not see any sort of alien weapons besides the plasma pistol, needler, and the plasma rifle. But and what I thought was like, is that all that the alien weapons are going to be in the fucking next game? That kind of sucks. But then I started seeing things online where people were using energy swords and the what was that?
Prometheans?
The what?
The Prometheans?
Yeah, the Promethean weapons are gone.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think there's any Prometheans in this game, so it doesn't really make any sense, I think. What was that? Connor, you probably know. The Sentinel Beam. That's coming back. It's redesigned, and it's actually really cool to see. But I've never used it, so I can't really give it a formal opinion on it. But from what I can tell, it looks pretty good. There's not really much to go off of with this playtest, other than seeing how multiplayer kind of works. Until we can get a preview or even a larger beta where we can start playing game modes like Big Team Battle or something along those lines. We won't really get the full experience of what we'll be playing on a daily basis within Infinite, so I'd say for right now the future's looking bright with Halo Infinite, and we just need to see what they're working on next to see what is going to be done and what needs to be done to correct its path from total destruction. Because I feel what they're trying to do is correct Halo 5's mistakes, but, you know, there's only so much you can do to try and correct Halo 5's mistakes. And if they're going to go back to a Reach style with, you know, Sprint being a full-on addition instead of being an armor upgrade, then I'm fine with that. We just have to see where they go with it. But other than that, I think we've reached an end point to this episode. If you want to hear the episodes, you can go to the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/the GTM Podcast, where you can listen to all the episodes in numbered order. You can go to youtube.com/the GTM Podcast to see the video version of the podcast, which really is just a picture with some gameplay most of the time. You can head over to Spotify, and you can listen to us on Spotify at the GTM Podcast. You can over to the gtmpodcast.squarespace.com, where you can check out our website, which will have every episode uploaded to it as well, and a little bit about the hosts and the guests that join the podcast. Anybody have any final words before I end this one off?
Butter.
Broccoli.
Popcorn
Okay.
chicken.
Okay.
There we go.
We now have a dinner plan. Sweet. See you guys in the next episode. Happy 20th episode.